from there, my first job was with Standard Oil. I got the highest paying job out of my graduating class at Cornell. And I started with Standard Oil as in the pits, in the oil pits, in gas stations. So I worked my way up in their management program and left them to go with another company called Carborone, which is was a competitor. It's not a business today, but it's a competitor to 3M, Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. That's what 3M stands for. Out of Minneapolis. So after that, I really went with a number of small companies, and ended up with a company that was doing about $3 million in sales in Denver, Colorado, called Information Handling Services. It's now a public company, but when I joined them, they were $3 million in sales. And I started out as a salesman at the lowest level in the sales organization. I ended up being Vice President of Sales, Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and Vice President of Operations of that company. When I joined, it was $3 million. When I left, it was $85 million. Today, it's $1.6 billion in sales, and it's a public company. So I got my foundation for entrepreneurship at that small company. Since then, I really have done a number of consulting jobs for many, many different kinds of companies. And in the late 70s, I decided while vacationing on Virgin Gorda in the British Isles with my wife, I decided that I was going to own a professional sports franchise. So you made fun of how you get to lose $3 million. The important thing is you have to make $3 million first.
I know, that's right. I mean, that's very important. At least, please, we want to know how you did that.
At that time, I was very successful in a small company, which is not a lot of money today, but it was $250,000, $350,000 a year back in the late 70s, and profit sharing. And I was one of 4 kind of co-founders of the company. It was owned by a conglomerate. I decided to leave that and give all that up and follow my dream. But people think because I have a soccer background that I want to do it because I'm an athlete. And that was not the case.
What was the case?
I really have viewed myself as a visionary. I've studied long-term trends for a long time. And you have to go back into the late 70s. Cable was just starting. HBO started in roughly 1977, 1978. USA Network was the primary network. ESPN came out in probably 1978, 1979. And I viewed, because of the company I was with, Information Handling Services, was a data content company, information technology company. I viewed a playing field differently than an athlete. I viewed a playing field as programming. So if you had a flat field and you put a sport on it, you could actually create a program and watch it on television. And I actually was the founder of the first regional sports network.
Wow.
And if you know anything about Denver, Denver is one of the very unique cities in the world where you can take a TV signal and broadcast any place in the world with few bounces because of its height and the way the earth is configured. So in Denver, you have a lot of cable companies that are housed and headquartered in there. And I said, well, I think I've got an idea. So I went through a whole process, which is why I wrote the book after the fact. Raised the money, raised over $3 million, followed my dream at a sports franchise in the city of Denver, McNichols Arena, 16,000 people on average. Pretty much the same as the Capitals right now.
Wow, isn't that awesome?
A lot of excitement and a lot of showtime.
Wow.
You can imagine, today we don't think of it, but if you're sitting in an arena and it's darkened, and all of a sudden there's a rumbling of sound, and lights come on in the back of a goal, and all this fog, artificial artificial fog, and through the back of the goal, all the athletes run out through it, each with a rose in their hand, and run up to the first row and present it to a good-looking lady. I was the first one to create that vision in sports. That was not done before that.
Oh, wow.
So we were very successful. The book covers that whole voyage, how I went about raising the money, how I went about getting coaches, how I went the marketing, hiring the staff, and its demise of what happened. So my father used to espouse a lesson when he was younger and when I was younger, and I didn't believe him until that episode. He said, son, he was not uneducated, so he would say, son, partners are lumpy. Don't have partners. And you know what? He was right. You know, when you have partners, you have problems. So
I have learned that.
I've had a number of entrepreneurial endeavors. I have a current company right now where I do have some partners, but I've had them for 9 years, and they're proven and trusted, you know, but we need people in order to achieve our dreams.
We do, we really do.
You can't do it
by
yourself. There's
You know,
just
you
too
can't.
much that's involved. You need capital,
Yeah.
you know, you need expertise in all
You
the
do.
things that make up running a business.
A good team.
You know, so
Yeah,
you
team
need
that
team
work
members.
together.
You have to be able to recruit them and keep them and incentivize them, you know, to perform, you know,
Right.
and be happy while they're doing that.
Right.
So it's quite a challenge, you know.
That's definitely a lesson for young people to learn very early, especially, you know, those who desire to be an entrepreneur. What would be the best advice you would give to a young person who aspires to be an entrepreneur?
Well, as I shared with Isaac when he was here, go out and do something in the business world. Don't be afraid to fail. Because the Olympian fails 50% of the time. The difference between an Olympic athlete and a non-Olympic athlete is that the Olympian falls back a step, but that sets goals to achieve that are 2 steps higher. Okay, so if you do that and fall back, do that and fall back, you're gonna advance a step each time, you know? And recognize that most everybody says no.
They do.
Okay, so you gotta get used to the concept of no.
Yeah, you're right.
And, you know, just say, you know, for me it's yes. What you can imagine, you can achieve.
That's true.
It takes dedication, it takes hard work, it takes opportunity, you know, and it takes
persistence.
luck. And it takes all those ingredients to be a successful entrepreneur. And you're gonna, like you're an Olympic athlete, you're gonna win games and you're gonna lose games. All right, so, and I've done both. So I made $3 million and I lost $3 million. And I've made money since then, and I've lost money since then. And I'm 79 years old and I'm still pursuing my dream, you know.
So, I guess I want to know, how does it make you feel when you have lost it? You have lost your money. It's like, even now with me, I get my account overdrawn because a minus, you know, some mistake. I forget to check off.
Well,
you
I
know.
guess the first part of that is, what does it mean to me? It doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay.
You know, the important things in life are your family, your health, probably your health first, your family, you know, your wife, your kids, you know, your community, and the ability to give back because of the things that you've been able to achieve and take from our society over the years, you know. So I have no regrets. We all go through life facing like branches on a tree. We face crossroads. You can either go left or you can go right.
Right.
And in my case, I made a lot of left turns, I made a lot of right turns. I've never woken up and regretted anything I've ever done.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish I'd done it a little bit smarter, perhaps, but I don't view life as being half empty, I view it as being half full. And what can I do to take my next dream, and make that a reality, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be in business.
That's true.
It could be learning German, it could be learning industrial operations psychology or whatever it is as a professor of. It could be anything in your life, but my father had a saying which I think is important. If you're gonna do something, whatever you do it right the first time. And that way you don't have to worry about spending time to do it right the second and third and fourth time.
What if you don't do it right the first time, simply because you don't know what happened then?
Well, I think that what you're getting at is how do we educate those people who don't know?
Yeah.
How do we give them exposure to an environment that provides that kind of, knowledge, and that's a difficult task. I have a 501c3 also, Kingstown Soccer Association, which deals with economically disadvantaged children.
Right.
And
Which are the ones that we
and we give back to the community, and
Mhm.
I also with my new company, we have most of the VPIP students in Fairfax County, which are the Virginia Preschool Initiative Program, funded by the United States federal government and by the state of Virginia and Fairfax County. So we provide a soccer enrichment program for that age group. In fact, we're the only soccer program approved by Fairfax County for early childhood learning. So I'm kind of proud that we have gone from losing $3 million in a sports franchise to working, which I've done all my life since I've been 19. I've coached kids since I've been 19 years old, so that's 70 years of coaching.
And I'm thinking that that's much more valuable in me. And with them, that means a whole lot more than $3 million, because you have given them a better life. And that's, you can't put a price tag on that. You can't put value on that. And
Well, I think the other thing, and I'm just schmoozing with you, I guess, but thinking of thoughts as you asked me the question, you've got to be a giver in life. You can't be a taker. There's a lot of takers in this world. And, be there to help out, do whatever it takes to help somebody, and an example of that, we had when we first started our franchise with called the Denver Avalanche, the major indoor soccer league, we didn't have our stands filled with fans. So I found out that there was an agency in Buffalo's my hometown, in Denver, Colorado, that had 468 charitable organizations that it provided transportation for. So I made a deal with them. I said, if I give you tickets to the games for those disadvantaged people, would you provide the transportation? They said yes.
Awesome.
So we provided our first season 2,000 seats for every home game for disadvantaged people, including people who were blind. And we got ripped in the newspaper, giving away seats. Well, and one of those individuals is now on ESPN. I won't mention his name, but he would write big articles about, isn't it terrible they're giving away seats? He didn't understand.
No, he didn't.
As a result, we had the stadium filled with people that were cheering and clapping, and eventually we sold out. We still gave those tickets away.
That's awesome.
Now, on the business side, the entrepreneurial side, we took that as a charitable deduction. I gave it back to my partners. And they got a taxable consequence, the tax benefit. But that was not the reason we did that.
We're going to have to wrap it up. We're going to have you to answer one more question, and then we're going to have to wrap it up, because I know that you got other things that you've got to do. And Brittney, of course, got other things that she has to do. And even the person who's doing the camera, India, who is also an entrepreneur. she's a college student here at George Mason University, and she is the one who's going to be her desire is to be able to do television broadcasting for a big corporation. So I told her I'm going to try to grow my corporation to be a big time corporation and hire her as my video person.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I got turned down when we tried to get television coverage for the Denver Avalanche.
Really?
So guess what I did?
What'd you do?
I formed my own television company, and I produced my own games. I sold the advertising, and I put the game on. I bought the time from CBS.
See,
put my own game on.
Yeah.
We made money.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? This is what we need to hook up with. Come on, this is the one we need to hook up with.
Nobody had done that in sports prior to in professional sports.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
You didn't realize that when you saw me.
I did not realize any of that, So it's really, I'm like following in your footsteps. Okay.
So just to wrap it up, so what businesses are you involved in now? What services?
Yeah, I started 9 years ago. Actually, I say I'm older than dirt, but when I retired, I started a children's soccer training company called Kinder Kick It. And Kinder Kick It focuses on 3 to 9-year-old children. And the concept in our sport, we have a lot of travel teams that have professional coaches that teach the kids. And they're all 8 to 10 and older. But nobody takes care of the little children, the real little guys. So what we came up with was the concept of bringing our coaches, our curriculum, our balls, our equipment, our nets to the place. We go to churches, we go to schools, we go to recreation centers, we go to child care centers. And we bring for 30 to 60 minutes a week, we bring a soccer education program, enrichment program to those age group kids. So I'm kind of a consultant to that company now. I founded it, and I've got younger people that run it, they're all soccer kinds of people.
We want to especially promote this book, No Money Down, How to Buy a Sports Franchise, A Journey Through an American Dream. We want to know how the people can be able to get this book, especially when they want to learn about funding, legal, facility, everything that you have to share from your experiences. And from just talking to you, we know you got a whole lot of wisdom in this book. People need to find out how. So we want to say, promote this book for you on RETV. And we want you to tell them how they can be able to come and get a copy of your book.
Well, I have a couple of websites. Whether they go to www.sportsclubmanagement.org, they can order the book, and every order that is placed on that website, I personally, a little note to the person that buys the book.
Okay.
They can go to nomoneydownsports.com, which is a more glamorized website, and buy it, through PayPal or any of those payment methods. But that's not an autographed book. So either way, nomoneydownsports.com or www.sportsclubmanagement.org.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Or just look me up, Ronald P. Maierhofer.
Okay.
Maierhofer.
Okay.
Lovely having you. Thank you for coming here and sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's been wonderful chatting with you for a minute.
Yes, we just have one other person that just walked in. We want to have her to come in and just give a shout out for the Social Entrepreneur Society organization here at George Mason. Her name is Dorothea. Dorothea, of course, she is the person that actually is the reason why he is here in the first place. It was through her is the way we met, Mr. Ronald Maierhofer, and we just want to say thank you, Dorothea. Come on here, girl. What you have to say? Go ahead, what you have to say?
I'm glad that you guys got to, with soccer starting April 3rd at our school,
Oh, it is?
so.
For GMU,
Mhm.
or the CDC Center?
Mhm.
Yep, exactly, yeah.
So, we're excited.
All right.
Tina was one of our very first clients. Tina
Oh,
Lawrence,
really?
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. And we also want to let you know, coming up on April the 28th, we're going to have a music and art festival here, right here at George Mason University in the Dewberry Hall. And we want you to come. It is to raise money for a very
That's the
good
one.
cause, that is to give job training to the homeless and those ones who need to re-enter back into society. So we're asking you to stay tuned. You never know what comes on RETV, Reality Education Television. And until next time, goodbye.